So we have formation of differential equations. So we are going to consider a general solution of a differential equation. And we are going to discuss the formation of a differential equation or the inverse process of finding a differential equation. Again, when we say general solution of a differential equation, it is a solution containing a number of arbitrary constants equal to the order of the equation. So the said process can be done by eliminating the arbitrary constants of the general solution. So meaning, we can find the differential equation by eliminating those arbitrary constants. So yan ay galing sa ating general solution. So let's proceed with elimination of arbitrary constants. So elimination of arbitrary constants can be done by applying three methods. First, we have differentiation and combination or elimination. Then we have isolation of constants. And we have determinants or using matrix. First, we have by differentiation and combination. So, paano siya ginagawa? So, in this method, to eliminate n number of arbitrary constants, the given general solution must be differentiated n times. So, kung ilan yung ating arbitrary constants, ganun tayo beses mag-differentiate. Ganun karami. So, kung dalawa ang yung arbitrary constants, kukuha ka ng first derivative and second derivative. So to eliminate the n arbitrary constants, we must have n plus 1 equations. So kung meron kang dalawang arbitrary constants, that meron kang tatlong equation. And those equations will come from our given, so kasama ang given doon, and the result of our differentiation. By elimination and combination, we will have a differential equation of order n. Diba? O yun ang sabi, diba? Kung ilan yung constants mo, yun ang order ng ating differential equation. Okay. So we have steps in differentiation and combination. First, so we are going to differentiate the given general solution n times, where n is the number of arbitrary constants. Again, by differentiation, we will have n plus 1 equations, including the given. Number 2, so we're going to eliminate the constants. Elimination can be done by combining two equations at a time. Pwede ka dyan mag-add subtract para makancel yung ating constant. So after eliminating the arbitrary constants, the solved equation is the differential equation of order n. Okay, let's have an example. So we are going to eliminate the arbitrary constants of the given equations. Number 1, we have y equals c sub 1 sine 5x minus c sub 2 cosine 5x. Since we have two arbitrary constants, c sub 1 and c sub 2, so meaning we are going to differentiate this equation twice. So we're going to find the first derivative and the second derivative kasi meron tayong dalawang arbitrary constants. Okay. Again, we have given y equals c sub 1 sine 5x minus c sub 2 cosine 5x. Sasabi kanina, we have n plus 1 equations including the given. So this is our first equation, equation number 1, yung given. Now, differentiating. So we have, again, derivative ng y ay y prime. Ito ay constant. Constant. Derivative tayo ng variable, sine 5x. Minus constant. Derivative tayo ng cosine 5x. So ito ay sine u. So ang derivative niyan ay cosine u du. Kaya yun ay cosine u, derivative ng u. Minus c sub 2, derivative ng cosine 5x. Ito naman si cosine u. So ang derivative niya ay negative sine u du. Kaya minus c2, negative sine u, derivative of u. Kaya negative sine 5x, derivative pa tayo ng 5x. Now, we have y prime equals c sub 1 cosine 5x. Write lang natin yan. Derivative ng 5x ay 5. Minus c sub 2, negative sine 5x, derivative is 5. Simplifying, y prime is equal to 5. Lagay nyo sa harap 5 c sub 1 cosine 5x. So ito ay negative and negative. So we have positive 5 c sub 2 sine 5x. So ito yung ating first derivative. Y prime equals 5c sub 1 cosine 5x plus 5c sub 2 sine 5x. Ito yung ating equation number 2. So equation 1, equation 2. Since meron tayong dalawang c sub 1 saka c sub 2, that meron tayong tatlong equation. So isa pa. We have our second derivative. Again, y prime is 5c sub 1 cosine 5x plus 5c sub 2 sine 5x. Again, by differentiation, we have y double prime for y prime. Ito yung ating constants, 5c sub 1, derivative tayo ng cosine 5x. 5c sub 2, derivative tayo ng sine 5x. Cosine u, yan ay negative sine u du. Ito naman ay sine u, kaya cosine u du. Then, we will have 5c sub 1 negative sine 5x. Derivative ng 5x ay 5. Plus 5c sub 2 cosine 5x. Derivative ng 5x ay 5. Again, simplifying. So, ito ay 5c sub 1 times 5, 25, negative, negative 25, c sub 1 sine 5x. 5 times 5, 25, c sub 2 cosine 5x. So, we have our second derivative, our third equation. So, okay. We have equation 1, yung given, y equals c sub 1 sine 5x minus c sub 2 cosine 5x. From first derivative, equation number 2 natin, 5c sub 1 cosine 5x plus 5c sub 2 sine 5x. And from our second derivative, our third equation, y double prime equals negative 25 c sub 1 sine 5x plus 25 c sub 2 cosine 5x. Doon muna tayo sa nakakuhang equations. So if we're going to analyze the equations, ano dyan ang magkamuka at pwede i-combine? So meaning dapat magkamuka yung kasama ng c sub 1 and c sub 2, yung ating mga variables. Pag chinek mo yung equation 1 mo, ang kasama na c sub 1 ay sine. Kasama ni c sub 2 cosine. Pagdating mo sa second equation, na bago. C sub 1 ang kasama na ay cosine, c sub 2 ang kasama sine. So silang dalawa hindi pwedeng i-combine kasi wala ka dyan makakancel. Wala ka mai-eliminate. Kasi magkaiba yung kasamang variables ng c sub 1 and c sub 2. Pagpunta mo ng equation 3, naging sine na ulit yung c sub 1, naging cosine kay c sub 2. So kamukha niya yung sa equation 1. Diba? So parehas sila na c sub 1 sine 5x, c sub 2 cosine 5x. So meaning we can combine equations 1 and 3 to eliminate c sub 1 or c sub 2. Ngayon, pag check natin, si first equation, ang coefficient ni c sub 1 is 1, Same with c sub 2, 1 lang din. Pero sa equation 3 natin, naging 25 at 25. So para tayo makapag-eliminate, kailangan magkamukha din ang kanilang numerical coefficient. So meaning we're going to multiply the equation 1 by 25 para magkamukha. Sige, tuloy natin. So we're going to multiply equation 1 by 25. Then we're going to add the resulting equation to equation 3. Add kasi positive, negative, pag pinag-add magka-cancel. Negative, positive, pag pinag-add, cancel din. By multiplying by 25, so magiging 25y, 25c sub 1 sin 5x, minus 25c sub 2 cosine 5x. So yun ang kanyang resulting equation. Sabi, i-add sa equation 3. So ito yung equation 3 natin, y double prime equals negative 25 c sub 1 sin 5x plus 25 c sub 2 cosine 5x. And we're going to add the resulting equation. No? Multiply ng 25. Ito yun. Kaya 25y equals 25c sub 1 sin 5x minus 25c sub 2 cosine 5x. Sige. Add natin ha. Ngayon, ito, pag chinek natin, magkamukha, naibalay sign, opposite sign sila. Then, pare sa kanilang mga constants, magkakamukha. Sabihin, pag pinag-add mo yan, cancel yan. Ito rin, 0 na rin to. So, 0 tong side na equation na yan. Y double prime plus 25y, since magkaiba, sulat nyo lang siya, susulat lang, y double prime plus 25y. Ganun lang mangyayari. Para lang merong x plus y equals 0. So ito ngayon yung ating differential equation. Tama ba yung sagot natin? So meron tayong dalawang arbitrary constant, c sub 1, c sub 2. So dalawa. So dapat meron kang second order. So yun, tama naman. Y double prime tayo dito. So we have another solution tayo for this problem. Sabi dito, since negative 25 is common in equation number 3, ito yun, equation 3. So, yung c sub 1 mo, saka c sub 2, parehas mayroong negative 25. So, yan ay common. Pwede mo siya i-factor out. Pag pinactor out natin yan, negative 25, ito yung kilalabasan. Diba? Lalabas ko yung negative 25. So, magiging positive c sub 1 sin 5x. Ito magiging negative. Kasi ang nilabas ko ay negative 25. Pag binalik mo yan, negative c sub 1, positive c sub 2. So, ayun siya. Then, from equation number 1, ito yun, yung given. Y equals c sub 1 sin 5x minus c sub 2 cosine 5x. Check natin ha. Dito, ito yan, hindi kamukha niya. Ayun, parehas sila. Parehas sa c sub 1 sin 5x minus c sub 2 cosine 5x. So, ibig sabihin, ito pwedeng palitan ng y. Kaya magkakaroon ka ng y double prime equals negative 25y. Ito kasi ay equal sa y. Kaya meron tayo ngayon y double prime equals negative 25y. Then transpose natin yan, y double prime plus 25y equals 0. So meron tayong same answer dun sa isang solution. So kayo ang bahala sa pag-combine. Pwede kayo mag-add subtract ng equations, or pag nakita yung merong kamukha, pwede kayong na factoring, then palit ng equation. Kaya combination, ang gagawin natin dito. Okay, so we have example number 2. So y equals c sub 1 e raised to negative x plus c sub 2 e raised to 2x plus c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. So we have here c sub 1, c sub 2, and c sub 3. We have 3 arbitrary constants. So meaning we're going to differentiate 3 times. So we're going to find the first derivative, second derivative, and third derivative. Differentiate natin. Again, given c sub 1 e raised to negative x plus c sub 2 e raised to 2x plus c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x, our equation number 1, given. And differentiate natin. So ito ay y prime for y. Constant, derivative tayo ng e raised to negative x. C sub 2, derivative of e raised to 2x. Plus c sub 3, derivative of e raised to negative 3x. So lahat siya ay e raised to u. So if we have e raised to u, differentiating, yun ay e raised to u, derivative of u. Then, we have c sub 1, o e raised to u, derivative of u. E raised to u, derivative of u. E raised to u, derivative of u pa rin dito. Ang u mo ay negative x, 2x, and negative 3x. Then, we have c sub 1 e raised to negative x times negative 1, derivative ng negative x. C sub 2 e raised to 2x times 2, derivative of 2x. C sub 3 e raised to negative 3x, derivative of negative 3x is negative 3. Then simplify natin. Negative 1 times c sub 1 is negative c sub 1 e raised to negative x. 2 times c sub 2 is 2c sub 2 e raised to 2x. Negative 3 times c sub 3 is negative c sub 3. Since plus ito, so meron tayong negative 3 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. So yan yung first derivative natin. So yan yung ating second equation. Okay. Next, we're going to find the second derivative. So from y prime, ito yun, negative c sub 1 e raised to negative x plus 2 c sub 2 e raised to 2x minus 3 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Now, differentiate natin ulit. O y prime is y double prime. Negative c sub 1, derivative tayo ng e raised to negative x. 2 c sub 2, derivative of e raised to 2x. Minus 3 c sub 3, derivative of e raised to negative 3x. Again, yan ay lahat na yan ay e raised to u. Kaya meron ka ulit e raised to u du. Ito rin e raised to u du. Ito rin ay e raised to u du. Then, we have negative c sub 1, e raised to negative x. Derivative nito ay negative 1. 2c sub 2, e raised to 2x. Derivative of 2x is 2. Minus 3, c sub 3, e raised to negative 3x. Derivative of negative 3x is negative 3. Then, simplifying, negative 1 multiplied by negative c sub 1, positive na yan. C sub 1, e raised to negative x. 2 times 2, we have 4 c sub 2 e raised to 2x. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 3, positive 9 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Then we have equation number 3, our second derivative. O, isa pa. Let's have third derivative. Again, from y double prime, second derivative, ito yung ating nakuha kanina. Differentiating, we have y triple prime, c sub 1, naman tayo, derivative ng e, 4c sub 2, derivative ng e raised to 2x, plus 9c sub 3, derivative of e raised to negative 3x. Differentiate natin ulit. C sub 1, e raised to u du, plus 4c sub 2, e raised to u du ulit, plus 9c sub 3, e raised to u du. Then we have c sub 1, e raised to negative x, negative 1, 4c sub 2, e raised to 2x, positive 2. 9c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x, negative 3. Simplifying, kung negative 1 yan, multiply mo doon, negative c sub 1 na yan, e raised to negative x. 2 times 4 is 8, c sub 2 e raised to 2x. Negative 3 times 9, negative 27, c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Ito yung ating third derivative, equation number 4. Sige, summarize natin ha. We have given equation number 1. Then we have our first derivative, equation number 2. Second derivative, our equation number 3. And our fourth equation, third derivative. Given first derivative, second derivative, and our third derivative. So ngayon, dapat sa pag-eliminate, gagamit lahat ng equation, ano? So unang elimination natin, pag magtatanggal kayo ng constant. So diyan kayo bahalang mamili. Ano ba ang madaling eliminate? Si C sub 3 ba muna? Si C sub 2? Or yung ating C sub 1? Tingnan nyo ha. Tapos kayo pipili ng operation, ano? Kung plus, kung mag-add kayo, or magsusubtract. Ano mas madaling gawin? If we're going to eliminate C sub 3, so hindi magkakamukha ang coefficient, ano? 1, naging negative 3 dito, 9, ito ay naging negative 27. So medyo madiwara pa siya i-eliminate. Pagka naman C sub 2 tayo, ganun din, 1, naging 2, naging 4, naging 8. Si C sub 1 naman, naibalay sign, positive, negative, positive, negative. So siya ang pinakamadaling i-eliminate muna. No, nauna. Siya muna tanggalin natin. Pagkatapos, yung equations 1 and 2 ay magkaiba ng sign. Pag in-add mo yan, tanggal agad yung C sub 1. Same with 3 and 4. Sige. So we're going to add equations 1 and 2 to eliminate C sub 1. So equation 1, ito yung equation 1 natin. Equation 2, first derivative, equation 1. Add natin dalawa. So i-add lang yan. Ito, magka-cancel na yan. Kaya ito, rewrite lang. Y prime plus Y. Susulat nyo lang siya ng Y prime plus Y. Ito, add ito. 2 plus 1. So, meron tayong 3. C sub 2 raised to 2x. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. C sub 3 raised to negative 3x. So, meron tayo equation 4. This will be our equation number 5. Sige. Tuloy natin. Nagamit na si 1 and 2. Doon tayo ngayon kay 3 and 4. And we're going to add din para ma-eliminate C sub 1. So we're going to add equations 3 and 4 to eliminate again C sub 1. Equation 4. We have equation 3. Then a-add natin yan. Again, cancel itong C sub 1 kasi sila ay opposite sign. Okay, so cancel natin yan. Sabi dyan, y triple prime plus y double prime. So hindi man sila pwede i-combine. Kasi magkaiba, add lang natin. Y triple prime plus y double prime. 8 plus 4 is 12. Negative 27 plus 9 is negative 18. C sub 3 raised to negative 3x. Okay. We now have equation number 6. Tuloy natin. Di ba sabi kanina, pag meron kang n unknowns, kailangan meron kang n plus 1 equations. So meron tayong 1, 2, 3 unknowns, 3 constants. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng 4 equations. Ngayon dito, nag-eliminate tayo ng C sub 1, meron ka na lang 2 arbitrary constants, C sub 2 and C sub 3. Para ma-eliminate mo yan, dapat meron kang n plus 1. So, dalawa yan, dapat tatlo ang equation mo. So, dalawa pa lang meron tayo. Isa pa. So, kayo bahala dito pumili pa ng inyong i-subtract or i-add. Kayo bahala. So, ang pinili ko dyan, 1 and 3. So, subtract ko yung equations 1 and 3 para ma-eliminate C sub 1. Also, pwede rin namang eliminate nyo C sub 1 sa 2 and 4 by subtraction. Kayo bahalang mag-eliminate. But I will eliminate C sub 1 in equations 1 and 3. Subtract ko muna. So, equation 3, ito yun. Y double prime. Then, equation 1, yung given. Subtraction ako kasi sila ay magkamukha ng sign para makancel yan. So, cancel na yan pag nag-subtract tayo. Ito naman, y double prime minus y ang maglagay natin. So, y double prime minus y. 4 minus 1, meron tayong 3. 9 minus 1 lang ito, kaya 8. Then, we have equation number 7. So, yun ha. Dalawa na lang dyan, C sub 2 and C sub 3. Dapat meron kang n plus 1 na equation. So, isa, dalawa, tatlo. So, we can eliminate C sub 2 or C sub 3 using these three equations, 5, 6, 7. Tuloy natin. So, ito yung equation number 5 natin na nakuha kanina. Equation number 6 and equation number 7. Sige. Ngayon, kayo bahala. Ano ulit? Ano ba madaling i-eliminate? Si C sub 2 ba or C sub 3? Pipiliin ko muna dito is C sub 2. So, I will eliminate C sub 2. Diba? Subtract ko yung equations. Sabi, equation 5 from 7. Ito yung 5 and 7. Madali kasi pareha silang 3 at 3. So, by subtraction, cancel na yung 3, C sub 2 na yan. So, equation 7, ito yun. Y double prime minus y equals 3C sub 2 e raised to 2x plus 8C sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Subtract ko dyan yung equation 5. Y prime plus y 3C sub 2 e raised to 2x minus 2C sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. So, tayo ay subtraction. Sige. Review tayo ha. Itong part na to, ayan, para mas madali siyang i-subtract. Subtraction kasi tayo. Ganito gagawin din nyo. Ito kasi yan, yan. Y double prime minus y minus y prime plus y. So, ayan yung ating equation dito. Ito, pwede mo yung i-rewrite na ganito. Diba? Parang wala kasing first derivative dito eh. Ito wala ka naman second derivative. So, y double prime, 0 si first derivative minus y, 0 si second derivative plus first derivative plus y. Ito kasi andun na sa equation mo. Saka ito yung black. So, yung red, dinagdag natin yan kasi ang missing. Para hindi kayo magkamali ng sign sa subtraction. Ano ba ang rule sa subtraction? Diba? Sabi doon, baguhin mo yung sign ng subtrahend. Then, magpuproceed ka sa addition. Diba? Positive yan. Positive yan. Gagawin mo siyang negative. Saka tayo mag-a-add. Ito, di ko na binago to. Zero naman kasi yan. So, gagawin nyo, addition na. Ito, magiging y double prime na siya doon. Y double prime. 0 minus, di ba? 0 plus negative y is negative y prime. Yan siya, And then, negative y plus negative y. Meron kang dalawang y. Kaya meron kang dalawang negative y, negative 2y. Yan siya, ulit ha. Ito, y double prime plus, ito 0 naman, kaya meron kang y double prime doon. Then y prime plus negative 0, 0y prime plus negative y prime lang siya. 0 plus negative 1. Then negative y plus negative y, dalawang negative y yon, kaya meron tayong negative 2y dito. Ito naman, cancel na yan. So magka-cancel yan. Ito 8, di ba? 8 minus negative 2, magiging 8 plus 2. So meron tayong 10. C sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. So yan ang ating equation number 8. Tuloy natin. So ginamit ko na yung 5 and 7. So yun yung nagamit ko. Ngayon, pwede tayong mag 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. So kayo bahala. Pwede kayong mag 5 and 6. Pwedeng mag 6 and 7. Sige. So I will use equations 5 and 6. So to eliminate again, C sub 2. Kaya lang, pag chinek mo dyan, si C sub 2 sa equation 5 ay 3. While sa 6 naman ay 12. So kailangan magkamukha sila. Multiply tayo. Multiply mo muna si 5 ng 4 para maging 12. Para pag nag-subtract tayo, cancel na si C sub 2. So, multiplying by 4, ito magiging 4y prime plus 4y equals 12 minus 8. Sige, isin natin. 4y prime plus 4y equals 12 c sub 2 e raised to 2x minus 8 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Ito yun ha. We multiply equation 5 by 4. So, yun yun. Then we're going to subtract the resulting equation from 6. So, ito yung 6. Y triple prime plus y double prime equals 12 c sub 2 e raised to 2x minus 18 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Sabi, subtract the resulting equation from equation 6 to eliminate c sub 2. So, subtraction tayo. Magka-cancel ito. Kagaya kayo na dito. So, yan ay y triple prime. Walang kamukha. Y triple prime minus 0. Y triple prime yon. Ito rin, walang kamukha. Kaya y double prime ka lang. Ito rin, wala. Diba? 0 sa taas. 0y prime minus 4. Negative 4y prime ka. 0y. Diba? Minus 4y is negative 4y. Equal. So, cancel ito. Ito naman, 18 minus negative 8. So, we have negative 10. Diba? Sa rule niya, magpa-plus ka dito. Mag-a-add tayo. Negative 8 plus negative 18 plus 8. So, we have negative 10. Equation number 9. Then, to eliminate C sub 3, check mo sa equation 8, C sub 3 na lang tayo. Same with equation 9. Pareha silang 10 kasi magkaiba ng sign. So, we're going to add the two equations to eliminate C sub 3. So, add lang tayo. Kaya y triple prime, ito yun, plus y double prime, minus 4y, minus 4y prime, minus 4y, equals negative 10 c sub 3, e raised to negative 3x. So, i-add natin sa equation 8, y double prime minus y minus 2y equals 10 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Then, magkakancel na itong c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Then we have y triple prime plus 2y double prime. O negative 4 plus negative 1 is negative 5y prime. Negative 4 plus negative 2, negative 6y equals 0. We have 3 arbitrary constants. Then we have third order o third derivative tayo. Ito ngayon yung ating differential equation. So, di ba dito ginamit ko yung 5 and 7. Di ba sabi ko pwedeng gamitin naman susunod dito is 5 and 6 o kaya 6 and 7. Mag-try tayo ibang solution. Napakita ko sa inyo. Dito ang ginamit ko ay 5 and 6. Dito. Ibahin natin. So we're going to use equations 6 and 7 naman tayo. 6 and 7. So again, para matanggal mo yung C sub 2 na yan, dapat maging 12 ito sa 7. Multiply mo ngayon ng 4 itong equation 7. Kaya ito magiging 4y double prime minus 4y 12. Ito magiging 32. Sige. So ayun yan, 4y double prime minus 4y equals 12 c sub 2 plus 32 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Equation 7 multiplied by 4. And we're going to subtract, again, this equation from 6. So ito yung 6, y triple prime plus y double prime equals 12 c sub 2 e raised to 2x minus 18 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. Then by subtraction, subtract na natin. Walang kamuka, so bring down lang yan, y triple prime. Ito na tayo, 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 0 minus negative 4 is positive 4. Diba? 0, magpa-plus ito, magpa-plus ka, kaya 0 plus 4 is 4. Cancel itong 12. Negative 18 minus 32 is negative 50. Kasi ito ay magiging negative. Mag-a-add ka. Negative 18 plus negative 32, negative 50. C sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. We have equation number 9. So pag chinek mo sa equation 8 yan, parehas sila na C sub 3 na lang ang ating constant. Kaso magkaiba yung kanilang pinaka-numerical, 10 and negative 50. So we're going to multiply 8 by 5 na para maging 50 rin. So multiply equation 8 by 5. Saka natin i-add kasi magkaiba ng sign. So magiging 5y double prime minus 5y prime minus 10y equals 50 c sub 3 e raised to negative 3x. So add sa isa. Sa 9. Ito yung 9 natin. Pag pinag-add natin yan, magkakancel ito. 0 yan. So y triple prime negative 3 plus 5 is positive 2. Then ito walang kamuka. Baba lang yan. 0 plus negative 5, negative 5 pa din. 4 plus negative 10 is negative 6 equals 0. So meron tayong same answer pa din, which is y triple prime plus 2y double prime minus 5y prime minus 6y equals 0. So ito yung ating differential equation. So itong first method ay kayo ang bahala mag-decide kung ano ang inyong gagamiting equations. Basta dapat sa pag-eliminate ng isang constant, make sure na ginagamit nyo yung mga equations lahat. No? Dapat nagamit lahat. Kasi andun yung third derivative sa isang equation, sa isa wala, sa isa andun. No? Diba? Kailangan lalabas yung tamang order ng ating differential equation. So yan yung by differentiation and combination.